Hey everybody, how's it going? For those of you who have been following me on AetherHub, which isn't a lot, but for those of you who know who I am on AetherHub, which isn't much either, well, for those of you who've seen this deck in the Brawl section of AetherHub, I've ahead of time, and I've been playing with this deck, and I love it so much. I've been playing with this the One True King deck. Initially, it was supposed to be something like, the Kenrith family. That's why I have King Kenrith. I have Linden. I also have the Royal Scions, and at some point, I was sort of tempted to include Rowan's card, even though I don't have it. I was kind of tempted to trade it in for a wild card and use this Rowan Fearless Spark Mage, which isn't all that bad because if you can get her to -9, you can control all creatures on the board, and it seems like in Commander there are a lot of creatures, and she may actually be this planeswalker may actually be something worth putting in for your Commander deck. But I didn't have the wild cards, and I think, well, I did. I had one, and I had one mythic, and I was trying to. I don't know what I traded in for. It must have been something important, more important than Rowan. But the moment I do, knowing that Brawl will be always there, knowing the moment I do get a one mythic wildcard, I will find a way to put her into whatever Commander deck that I've got, or Brawl deck. I'm sorry, they're calling it Brawl, not Commander, not EDH. So, what we've got here, it looks like your typical control whatever deck, 5-color Niv-Miz, but it's not. And the idea here is the real MVP, because most people they put in, I don't know, Golos 5-color, Niv-Miz 5-color, and they don't really think that they don't really use the commander in such a way that it should be used really well. So the idea for why Kenrith is such an amazing commander, and I really urge you guys that if you have Kenrith, use him as a commander, build around him, because he has abilities. He's associated as a 5-color commander, which means that all you really need is a white and whatever else colors you want. You can go mono white with him for all you want, but he's such a flexible commander. All you need is white, so you can go Jeskai, Abzan, Esper, maybe Mardu, or whatever. You can go 4 colors, 5 colors. You can go crazy, man. But he's such an amazing commander to have because all of his abilities are separate, and all of their abilities are sort of catered in such a way that they represent each of what the colors actually do. So for instance, his red activate ability is trample and haste, which is, if you want to play, I don't know, Boros colors will fit in perfectly. If you want to play Celestia colors, +1/+1, proliferate, right? Or I don't know, ramp. Then if you're playing, I don't know, Esper or Orzhov, there's life gain, and the list goes on. And that's why I really love having him as your commander. And I really love this deck. I mean, I don't think I've lost with this deck yet, ever. And I've been playing it for quite a while. If you've got the imagination, if you've got the brains for the strategy and all that, 5-color will really give you what it's worth. 5 colors of surprised, combat. You'll keep your opponent on their toes because they don't really know. But anyway, so for this version, you can make your own. I believe the one in AetherHub does not have Arcane Signet because I did not really think about it. But for this, you want Arcane Signet. Chromatic Lantern, you can include Mana Geode if you want instead of Chromatic, but I feel like Chromatic Lantern is just the better one. But Arcane Signet is a must. So for this one, I thought, well, I already made that elemental deck, right? That the elemental deck that everyone is familiar with, and it gets boring. So I thought, well, I still want to run with that because it has a lot of mana, has good synergy. So I decided, yeah, sure, Scorch Spitter, Chandra's Embercat if I needed the mana because it is 5 color. We do need a lot of those. Leafkin Druid, and we have 2 very powerful elementals in this deck, mind you. So we've got Yarok and Omnath, both of which can synergize off of each other, both of which can synergize on their own, you know? If you put Yarok down and then Cloudkin Seer, both of them have sort of like, well, maybe Yarok more than Omnath, but Yarok has a more general use, and Omnath has a more, themed use. And so there, we have Teferi, so that we can sort of prevent your opponent from counter spells, because lately there's been a lot of control in the commander scenario. And then we have Archon of Absolution, which is an amazing card to have. It makes your opponent pay for 1. You might think that it's not much, 1 paying for 1, but when you start seeing all those creatures on their opponent's side and they start, attacking, then that's when you're gonna wish that you had Archon of Absolution on your side, because then they have to pay for 1 mana for each. It's not that hard to deal with. It's just, some players may not think much of it, may not respect it so much, but if you're up against a player like that, then they'll soon realize that, oh shit, Archon of Absolution has to be dealt with, or else I can't attack, or if I attack, I don't have any more time or spells, rather mana, to cast other spells because I'm already out of mana because I've already tapped them because of this stupid card. Linden is sort of, you don't really need Linden, you can take her out, but Linden's sort of there just for the lore, for the theme of it, because I really did like the idea of having, sort of this family thing. I might later on revise the deck to further suit that sort of theme of the Kenrith family once I get Rowan Fearless Spark Mage, so that we can sort of play for funsies. And then you have all the hard-hitting planeswalkers, Garruk, Chandra, Liliana, Nissa, to provide you with more mana, because why not? I mean, you do have Mass Manipulate in here, and you do have a lot of big crushing cards in there. Also, you do want to have a lot of mana. Why? Because of Kenrith. So many times has Kenrith saved me. You don't want to put him down too early either. You want to, he's sort of like the end game thing, kind of like your trump card. So but if you can finish the game with him early on the board, then do it. I'm not telling you what to do or what not to do. I'm just suggesting things that you might want to do with this deck, because that's what works for me. And you do want to have a lot of mana, because another thing that makes Kenrith such a good card is because you can activate these as many times as you want. And in Commander, most of the time, it's either you're finding ways to spend all of your mana, or you're finding ways to not spend them, so that next turn you can have something to play, or you can, I don't know, whatever you do in Commander or in Brawl. But having a lot of mana will help you, because and that's actually one of the reasons why I have a lot of green in here, because end game, most likely you're gonna have a lot of creatures on the board. You have a lot of it. You have a lot of creature generation. You have a lot of stuff. You can steal creatures if you want. You can create creatures with Ajani Pride of the Strength of the Pride. You can create even more creatures with Nissa and that double mana and all that. You can create more creatures with Garruk and more creatures with Liliana. So there's a lot of creatures in this deck. It's a lot of flexibility. And when you have that, that's when, this is actually the one time where Kenrith's +1/+1 counters played such a vital role for me, because I was so many times I almost lose, so many times I win because of that one ability, or two if you include the red the red ability, which is all creatures gain trample and haste until end of turn. And you will see in gameplay, I'm sorry, I'm rambling on so much because this deck is so amazing. You also have God Pharaoh's statue, because in Commander, mana is a huge thing. Well, in any game mode really, but in Commander it is a huge thing, because as you enter late game, your opponent's cards are going to be bigger and harder and more powerful, and you want Pharaoh's statue to be in there, especially plus the sort of -1 life that happens. And you do want God Pharaoh's statue there so that you can sort of hinder your opponent from casting so many spells, from doing so many things in one turn, and it's a huge help. Trust me. Some people don't realize that it is a huge help. Then you have Eugene. Did I say we have the hard hitters of the planeswalkers here? Yeah, we have Eugene, who can also create more creatures and also serves as a draw or as a removal, a sure removal of any permanent. It can be, you know, Chromatic Lantern is such a huge deal in EDH, in Brawl, so you can remove that, destroy it, or you can destroy Signet, which is also a big sort of advantage if your opponent has it. But anyway, I feel like you guys have gotten tired of me just rambling on, and I think I've expended all that hype from this such a wonderful deck. It's such a beautiful one. So I'll see you guys into gameplay. We also have the Thorns and the Gales for further whatever gameplay. Cue it. Do I want to keep? Well, we have the Arcane Signet, so I guess that's okay. Temple of Mystery. Oh, he got that early. Risen Reef. Could be okay. So we got it early. Playing Niv Miz, the Reborn. So that's a 5-color. We're also playing 5-color, except that we're leading with a little bit of a different kind of 5-color. We have the Signet down. Okay. Oh, Mana Geode. You know, Mana Geode's pretty cool, except that it's just a little more expensive. Okay, so that'll heal us. Put down the Risen Reef. Then probably follow up with a Oko. Probably follow up with a Cloudkin. Yeah, our hand is really good if we make it to the end game. We can keep all of this. He has a knife. Okay. Well, that's weird. You can put down Kenrith. Maybe draw a card. But how do I know he doesn't have other control stuff that can steal my cards? So we might as well just put down Cloudkin. Draw a card. Ooh, Fires of Invention. Not bad. It'll allow us to put down 2 cards at the same time. I'm curious if Fires of Invention will consider the Signet as a mana thing, because it only says land. Has 2 spells converted. Cost less than equal. Oh, okay. Poor way of using it, in my opinion. Whatever. We have the Agent, which is also pretty good. I think we should put this down. And so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I guess it works as suspected. Well, we'll put down Ajani first. And then we can, I don't know, -2. Rock can only target creatures though, right? Creature equal, yeah. Ooh, Garruk. That's pretty good. If we can get enough for Agent, I think I do want to steal that Gareth.
Come on. I just want to peek.
But I'm pretty sure he has like something, some sort of mass manipulate. Now it kind of feels weird that I have Fires of Invention. We can play Cav of Gales. But definitely do have to plus.
Friendship feeds the soul.
Huh. So he has 2 of those. It'll pump up his Garruk, and he can. We don't have enough for mass manipulate. Is kind of weird on our part. I do want to. I feel like I want to put trample, but we could Oko. This is weird. So we haven't casted anything yet. And we can put down Cavaliers. Oh, okay. Probably put back Liliana and Whale Scions. Okay. Not particularly in that order. Matthew out. 5. Still need 2 more. How about if we put down Enrith? At least that's a blocker, right? It can protect a Johnny. And it's not something that, if it dies, it's not something that I'll feel so bad about. If he steals it, that might be something of a problem. Okay. Wow. So he gets the +2 on that Garruk. Sweeping Trailblazer might be good. He does get the +2 on that Garruk. He might actually activate it now. It's a scary thought, okay.
Now this is a hunting party.
Decisions.
I really do need that 7. Well, we do have 7. If we put this down. But I'm just kind of afraid that he might have a counter spell or something. Oh, nice. No counter spell. So I'll take your Garruk. Plus that.
We were born.
And here's the thing. If I do this, I heal for. I need 35 because 20 plus 15, 30, 20 plus 15.
I sense the good.
Oh, good. So we're 2 points away. We also put down Oko. Spawn a.
Who's more foolish? The fool. Or the fool who will
Spawn a bit of food. Maybe a pie. Oh, good, a pie. No, it's bread. And fruits. No, it's fruits. Pearly fruits. And then we can use that to heal them if we have to. We can activate a Johnny's ultimate. Yeah, sure, he gets the zombie.
Oh, come on. I just want to peek. The weight is killing me.
One's mine. Ooh, captive audience. Alright, you can have the zombies. How much? 4? 1, 2, 3. Well, we can take 2. Is there some way that we can bounce the agent? You have at least 15 more than your starting total. Exile John. And each artifact and creature you're Can't destroy. What do I have to destroy this thing?
Friendship soothes the soul.
Most likely I'm gonna have to floss.
One bite, and all your cares are gone.
One and oh, this has child. Okay. I can. How many do I only have?
Time to choose. Always
Oh,
exciting.
convenient. I might. I can still cast this. They all have trample. Time wipe and probably return agent. Arrow. +4. Forbidden urge. Okay. Expansion. ×2. There's not much. There's not much in my hand. Discard my hand. That's max. That's a lot of control stuff.
Cannot run or hide. I am proud of those who walk.
And I can probably convert. This is an enchantment, so I can't.
Surely you see the humor here.
But what I can do, damage to target creature equal to the number of instants and sorceries, is
Creature class supercharged energy equals.
sad thing is he probably already has enough to how many. That's one. I could have stolen the mana geode or turned it into. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2. Not gonna be. Alright, so I might as well just go hello, bonk. And I do have a bit of stuff here. Sure, whatever. Do what you want. I think he wants Garrett. And Kenrith, obviously. But Kenrith's tapped, so if he takes Kenrith, not much he can do with it. Good card, Covetous Urge. Okay. So he's out of mana. That's the thing. He's got very limited mana. And how about Torch Spitter? Torch Spitter. Put it down. And I guess we can just heal
We thrive when we support
for
one
8.
another.
Do want to take a look into my.
That's real
Yeah.
science.
Well, there's Eugene. There's also Ashiok. There's Eugene.
I invite you to change your ways.
These mosquitoes. And I guess we can. Well, he's gonna want to block. I think we have lethal of some sort. So we're gonna have to take out one of your big boys.
I can create or destroy.
Give everyone trample. Everyone with the trample. And we have quite the amount of mana, but if we attack, and that's 14. Let's see what he does. Which one are you going to block? You only have 3. 1, 2, and 3. There's nothing else you can put down, buddy. So these 3 are going through. I can pump you for 2. And into the command. Not quite enough. That's 10. What can he put down? I'll still live. So that's 10. Yeah, he wants to steal something. Probably gain a heal. Oh, he took Oko. And a Johnny.
Friendship
9.
feeds the soul.
What I want to see is if he activates
Surely
Garrow,
you must be famished.
will that give him a second emblem? Oh, okay, so he decides to just.
Hunt.
I don't think he's well. And with the last ditch effort, we got Scampering Scorcher. Not a bad choice. Let's see. I wanna. So what are the possible things that I can draw from like spells with Brawl? Not a lot. If we draw the Royal Scions,
Decisions.
that's God Pharaoh statue. Huh. Can also put down Kenrith. I'll still have more. God Pharaoh statue. If I put down Kenrith, and I definitely will. They gain trample. Scampering Scorchers gain trample. Can still only block with 2. And I only need 4. Right? I only need 4. I have... How much mana is that? 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then... Ooh, yeah! And you thought you could win with your crazy control deck? What? That's how you know that brains are better than just net decking.